Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 34th induction ceremony for the Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame. Big hand, here we are again in Prince Albert. I would ask you to please rise if you are able, as together we welcome this year's Sports Hall of Fame inductees and our special guests. Led into the room by Piper Dave Manette. Now that's an official party well entered. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2026 Sports Hall of Fame of Prince Albert inductees. Have a seat momentarily. Have a seat momentarily. And how about let's hear it for the breath and squeal of the busiest bagmeister in Saskatchewan, Piper Dave Manette. David, you are the finest example of community serving community. You bring celebration to so many events. Thank you. Rusty Clooney, I have to say, your entrance was adorable. I think we saw you jigging the Highland Fling a little bit on the way in, didn't we? Not to be confused with your other Highland Fling that Sharon calls date night. Anyway, there are just no words to adequately describe those Clooney dance moves anyways. Just as there are no words to adequately honor the skills and the dedication and heart of a community personified so vibrantly in the values and accomplishments of sport, as are found here in our little piece of the earth in Prince Albert, Saskatchewan. So here we are to spend an evening together as a community to honor our own, these very accomplished people, and all they represent and mean to a rich and an engaged community, a community that is, after all, a family of families, really. I am Mitch Holash, and it is an honor to be your master of ceremonies this evening. Some of you will remember my dad, John. He had early involvement in the Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame, and it's my honor to stand here in his shoes, literally his shoes, to carry on that legacy. To begin the evening in a good way, Te Wao Haya Anin Tansi Atlante. We recognize that Prince Albert is located in Treaty 6 territory and is the traditional homeland of the Métis. We extend our respect to all Indigenous people in our community for their traditional stewardship and care for these lands and for their valuable past and present contributions to our community. In doing so, we celebrate and embrace the value of the rich cultural diversity with which we are blessed in Prince Albert and the responsibilities that we inherit for each other as community. Here tonight and always, we reaffirm our relationship to one another. So now that I've got you nicely seated, at this time, we would ask you to please rise once again, if you are able, to honor our country, a country in which we are blessed to live together. Please join one of our own inductees, one of our own from Prince Albert, an award-winning recording and performing sensation across Canada and beyond, Caitlin Lehner. She will lead us in singing "O Canada."
Thank you.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God, keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Caitlin Lehner, everyone. Thank you, Caitlin. That was just wonderful. In prior years, many of you will remember that we've had Barry Mihailovich sing "O Canada" at this event, and the organizers this year thought we would try something radically different. Apparently, good looks, talent, and a waistline. So thank you, Caitlin, very much. Beautifully sung, well done, organizers. Just a couple of preliminaries. There will be, the City of Prince Albert has arranged for a cooling room. If people get too hot, you just go down the stairs, out the doors. There's some ponds out there that you can take your shoes off and walk through. If anybody's cold, Alana Ross has some extra sweaters in her car, I understand. If I could, while we're still in a moment of pride of country, I would like to introduce to you our special guests and our guests of honors for tonight's induction ceremony. First of all, our dignitary table. Firstly, someone who seems to be a meaningful part of every significant event in our community, member of the Legislative Assembly of Saskatchewan, representing Prince Albert Northcott and Saskatchewan's Minister of Parks, Culture and Sport, as well as Status of Women. Please welcome a good friend, the Honorable Alana Ross. You can stand up, Alana. Also at the table, a member of the Legislative Assembly for Prince Albert Carleton, Kevin Kassoon, is joining us. Thank you, Kevin, for being here. Representing the city this evening, representing City of Prince Albert this evening, we are honored to have with us our City Councillor elected from Ward 4, a man who has, since his election in 2024, been very impressive for his diligent, thoughtful, and insightful approach to community governance, currently serving as our Deputy Mayor. Please welcome Councillor Bryce Lewitz. I did see Councillor Stephen Ring here this evening. Stephen, you're here someplace? There's Stephen waving. I think I haven't seen her, but I heard that Councillor Don Kilmer might be here as well. Councillor Kilmer, are you here? There you are. And if anyone else is important from City Council, you'll tell me later, I'm sure. Oh, it's Blake Edwards here? Councillor Edwards? Okay. There he is. Stand up, Blake. Yeah. Yeah, he's told me he's important many, many times, so that's good. And we are very appreciative and honored to have with us for our induction event again this year, all the way from Regina, the Executive Director of the Saskatchewan Sports Hall of Fame, Aaron Stankwich. Thank you, Aaron. Welcome. I'm now going to introduce, perhaps in random order, our head table. Representing the Sports Organization of the Year, which we will announce later this evening, Chair Ian Litzenberger and his fiancée, PJ McCrae. Being inducted in the athlete category later this evening, Leah Gittinger-Ture and her husband, Matt. You've already said hello to Caitlin Lehner, who's going into the athlete category this evening, and her guest, Alex Beeman. Joel Mihalowicz will also be inducted into the athlete category, and he's looking pretty spiffy tonight, as is his wife, Becky. And the couple who wouldn't kiss into the builder category this evening, Randy Emerson and his lovely wife, Angela. They'll go into Randy will go into the builder category, as will Tim Leonard. He's here this evening with his wife, Tammy. Being inducted into the Meritorious Service category and for his well-known jigging ability, Rusty Clooney and his wife Sharon is here with him. And also a person who is no stranger to meritorious service in our community, Carol Souls, and she's here with her husband, Dick Souls. Our induction this evening into the team category will be the 2013-2014 Prince Albert Mintos, and they deserve a hand just for themselves. And getting the free meal for them this evening is Kenny Morrison and Don Fosho. Ladies and gentlemen, those are tonight's Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame inductees for 2026. And now, before we get to another great meal from Shenanigans Restaurants, we'd like to call on Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame Board President Barry Mihalowicz to say grace, because he is the closest thing to clergy that we have on the Sports Hall of Fame board.
I'm afraid I might get hit by lightning. Well, good evening, everyone. Would you please join me in a moment of prayer and reflection? As we gather here on this special evening, we give thanks for the many blessings we have. We're thankful for the opportunity to gather here to recognize the many athletes, builders, volunteers, and teammates that contribute to the Prince Albert sporting community. We are thankful for the years of commitment, the victories, losses, and the life lessons that sport contributes to our daily lives. We are thankful for our families, our friends, mentors that provide the necessary supports throughout our sporting endeavors. Your support, patience, and understanding through the ups and downs that are experienced through sport are greatly appreciated. We are grateful for the generosity of our community sponsors. It is your generosity and willingness to support infrastructure development, programs, and services that contributes to the success of the Prince Albert sporting community. We pray for those that have traveled to be here in celebration this evening. We pray that your travels are safe and that you return in the future to enjoy the many benefits of sport here in Prince Albert. We are thankful for the Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame Board of Directors, whose selfless work each year to recognize the many contributors to the Prince Albert sporting community is greatly appreciated. And lastly, we are thankful for the food that has been prepared for us in celebration this evening. And we ask a blessing on this food and the hands that prepared it. May it be a blessing to us and to others. Amen.
It wouldn't be inappropriate to applaud his piety, I don't think, so thank you very much, Barry. So I don't know what your ticket said. My program says we're going to be fed tonight, so I believe that. We will feed the head table first. We have the great people from Shenanigans here that have done one of their brilliant dinners for us here tonight. If there's any food left, once Morrison and Emerson get through the food line, the rest of us will be served. And this is Pat. Wave to Pat. Pat will tap your table if you're nice to you and let you know when it's your turn to go. So we will start with the head table. And Don, you can start and lead us down there. And then we're going to go to the table of these hungry dignitaries here. And then Pat will determine the order of the rest of you. Good luck to you all. The bar will be open, and so feel free to go there. Special thanks to the Prince Albert Raiders organization. They're running the bar service for us this evening. Yes, how about Prince Albert Raiders Hockey Club? How about some appreciation for them? They are raising spirits in so many ways in our community. Game 6 tomorrow in Medicine Hat. Let's go Raiders. You can show your support by buying a drink or a bottle of wine, raising a glass to the Raiders' fortunes at your table during dinner. So please enjoy your dinner, and we'll be back to you momentarily. Ladies and gentlemen, please find your seats. If we start before Kenny Morrison comes back in, please do me the favor, the kindness of standing up and giving him a standing ovation when he comes in, please. So we're now ready to proceed with the formal part of our evening. Ladies and gentlemen, Kenny Morrison. Yes, his hands are wet. First of all, how about a big round of applause for Jen and her staff from Shenanigans Bistro. Pat, thank you very much. Just a beautiful, outstanding meal. Great service as always. This Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame annual induction event is always, every year, such a highlight for the community, a special gathering for our community. And at this time, we'd like to acknowledge some of the people that have been honored in past years who are here with us tonight. And so we'd like to welcome the following past inductees of the Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame, who, at least the ones who have identified themselves on this sheet for me, that are here. So I'm going to ask everyone to stand up and just stay standing so that we can just, take a good gaze at the people that we've honored in past years. Ellen Grutkock, if you're done your dessert, please stand up. Ellen? Keep standing, Ellen. There's no way that Barry Mihalowicz has done his dessert. Anyways, Barry, where are you? Felix Casavant is here. Felix? Bob Smisko, you're here. Where's Bob? There he is. And Leanne Vance, representing Bruce Vance and Jessica Vance. Beloved Bruce. Thank you, Leanne. Barry Schrader, you're looking dark and black and sinister there. Ren Quintel is here. Jim Flynn is here. Pat Bibby. There's Pat. Dale Regal. And Dale is here with the real athlete in the family, Pat Regal. Merle Cozen. Andy Cozen. Brad Bibby is here with us tonight as well. And I know he's here because I got shit for it. Blake Edwards is here. Hey, Blake Edwards. The impressive and lovely Dallas Emerson is here with us today. And the equally impressive and lovely Dwayne Garrow is here with us today as well. Ladies and gentlemen, past inductees of the Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame. Donna Brooks, are you here as well? There's Donna. Thank you, Donna. Let's hear it for the past inductees of the Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame. Darlene Chartrand is apparently here today as well. Darlene? Talk louder, Dale. We did Ren Quintel, but we'll go around again for you, Dale, if you want. Brian Swiston? Of course. Brian, you're not the Swiston that's on that TV show, though, right? He looks a lot like you. So, Chris Hudon is here. Christian? Yes, I saw Christian having a beer there. So, Chris, you're an educator, and I just want to show you again. This is a list. You can sign your name on it next time, okay? Next year. Anyhow, great to see everybody here, and that brings back lots of great memories of nights gone by. Tonight's inductees, like in past years, their names were put forward to the Prince Albert Hall of Fame Board of Directors by nominators from within our community. And to the nominators, we thank you. Nominations are an essential part of the process, and they involve some commitment, some considerable commitment and effort to compile. So without these nominations, we wouldn't have an event. So we thank you very much for putting these brilliant names forward for us to honor tonight. The board is accepting nominations for future induction ceremonies. So if this gets the juices flowing and you're thinking tonight during our event that you know someone who should be nominated, please do so. You can find the nomination forms and criteria on the Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame website. It's a serious acronym. It's www.pashof.ca. And I assure you that doesn't spell a profanity, okay? On the website. We have a table of dignitaries that they really did eat in a dignified manner tonight, I'd like to say, so I will refer to you as dignitaries. We would like to invite first the Minister of Parks, Culture and Sport and Status of Women, the Honourable Alana Ross, to bring greetings on behalf of the Government of Saskatchewan. Alana?
Thank you, Mitch, and good evening, everyone. It is really such a pleasure for my colleague Kevin and Kassoon and I to join you here this evening on behalf of Premier Scott Moe and the Government of Saskatchewan to help celebrate Prince Albert's Sports Hall of Fame 34th Induction Banquet. This event is such an amazing tribute to sports in our community, helping to honor the diverse sport history of Prince Albert and our province. Over the years, the Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame has recognized many outstanding individuals, teams, organizations, and builders who have helped to put Prince Albert on a global sports stage. All inductees share the qualities of determination, dedication, and excellence, which acknowledge the effort and perseverance behind their success. Sport and recreation and physical activity are fundamental in our province and in our communities. Sports enriches our lives. They teach us life skills, encourage friendships, help us live healthy, active lifestyles, and provide entertainment and excitement. Thank you to the Sports Hall of Fame for celebrating the history of sport and for recognizing these outstanding individuals, teams, and builders who have made such a positive impact on our community. Congratulations to this year's induction class. You and your families and our community are very proud of your achievements. And thank you for the invitation to join you all here this evening. I have to say, I think it's my favorite event of the year in PA. It's a good one. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Alana Ross. I'd like to invite to the podium Councillor and the current Deputy Mayor, Bryce Lewitz, to bring greetings from the City of Prince Albert. Bryce?
All right, good evening, everyone. How about a quick round of applause for our Master of Ceremonies? It's a great introduction. Thank you, Mitch. So I'm here to bring greetings on behalf of the City of Prince Albert and Mayor Polowinski. He unfortunately couldn't be here tonight, so the jokes from the mic will be minimal. Tonight is a night to celebrate sport and culture in our community, and an opportunity to thank all of the parents, coaches, friends, and family members who have supported you and encouraged you to be the best that you could be. The experience of participating in sport builds a foundation for a lifetime of involvement, healthy living, and enjoyment. I think that we can all agree that participation in sports is one of the best ways for young people to understand the value of teamwork, gain self-confidence, and improve their health through exercise. Thank you to the builders, coaches, athletes, and thank you to the teams, and thank you to the founders of the Prince Albert Sports Council. Sports is not just about winning, it's about life. As we conclude the evening, I would like to congratulate and thank the organizers for the outstanding induction ceremony. On behalf of the City Council and the citizens of Prince Albert, I salute all those who are proudly named to the Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame. Thank you for making Prince Albert the great city that it is, and we are all proud to be Prince Albert. Thanks.
Thank you, Bryce. Very well said. Ladies and gentlemen, most of you will know that the Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame is a satellite hall to the Saskatchewan Sports Hall of Fame. This organization rings dear to me as well. I was on the executive many years ago when it had its 35th anniversary. My father was part of the start of that organization as well. But for the past couple of years, we've been privileged to have the interest and the presence of Executive Director of the Saskatchewan Sports Hall of Fame share this event with us here in Prince Albert. And so please welcome a lovely lady, Erin Stankiewicz.
Thank you, Mitch. Thank you to the Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame. Congratulations on a successful year and putting on a wonderful event. Congratulations to this table down here of all these wonderful inductees. It takes a lot of work to be inducted into any Hall of Fame. So we're excited to be here and to celebrate you. I will follow up with Mitch. I like to always, again, really thank and congratulate those who nominate people into the Hall of Fame, whether it be the Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame or the Saskatchewan Sports Hall of Fame. It is not just celebrating the individuals, but it's preserving your community's story and your community's history. And so that's a really important thing for, I think, all communities to do. And Prince Albert has a wonderful history of getting strong nominations every year. So I would like to thank the community for that. And I hope everybody has a wonderful evening, and I look forward to celebrating.
Thank you, Erin. Very well said. And to bring greetings from the Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame, please welcome President Barry Mihalowicz. Barry?
Thank you, Mitch. It's always nice getting introduced by somebody as esteemed as yourself, sir. It is. A pleasure. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and honored guests, and of course, our inductee class of 2026. As president, it is my honor and privilege to talk a bit about the Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame. It's a beautiful Hall of Fame. It's an amazing Hall of Fame. There's never been a better Hall of Fame. I've seen many Hall of Fames, or is it Halls of Fame? I'm not sure. Either way, it is a beautiful Hall of Fame. And everyone,
Do a different president invitation, okay, Barry?
I've been watching too much American news, apparently. So, thought that's what presidents are supposed to do, no? Got you laughing, didn't I? Thank you very much. Since its inception in 1988, the Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame has inducted more than 200 individuals and more than 40 teams. Each of these athletes, builders, and teams have been recognized for their achievements and for their contributions to sport in Prince Albert and surrounding area. We gather today to honor the next class of inductees. I have to tell you, every year, I'm amazed by the remarkable stories behind these people. Their dedication and hard work serves as an inspiration to all of us. But it occurs to me that there are countless others who often go unrecognized. Their tireless efforts make it possible for others to enjoy the benefits that sport provides. And our community is much better because of the service they provide. And we thank them. And if that makes you think someone you know deserves to be recognized, as they've said before, feel free to nominate. I would also like to thank the many businesses and individuals who provide monetary support for sports in Prince Albert. Without your contributions, much of what we celebrate here tonight just could not happen. In particular, I'd like to thank our sponsors for their generous support of the Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame, and I'm going to list them all off, even though Mitch is going to do it again shortly. Crown Cleaners, Crown Vacuum. They've been around for as long as I've been here. Michael Lipchuk, Remax Realty, Prince Albert Northern Bus Lines, Lake Country Co-op, Smitty's Restaurant, Bugsy's Bar and Grill, the Broda Group, Big Drum Media, and our newest sponsors, Bolac Funeral Home and Parkland Ambulance. Please support these local businesses, and while you're there, thank them for all they do for our community. And let's give them a big round of applause right now. The Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame is run by a volunteer board of directors. This evening is the culmination of a year of planning by this amazing group over here. I'd like to introduce them and ask them to all please stand. Our Vice President, Ren Quintel. Treasurer, Felix Cassavant. Our recording secretary and representative from the city, Jody Boulay, who couldn't be with us this evening, and I think that's the first one he's missed in gotta be 20 years. Past President Ellen Grucock. And directors Leanne Vance, Barry Schrader, Jim Flynn, Gail Graham, and Jen Alarma Hodges, as well as our newest member, Donna Brooks. If you get a minute, thank them too. I believe we've also have at least one former director. I think there's several former directors in attendance, and I'd like all of them to stand and be recognized. Starting with Bob. Come on, Bob Smithsko. I think I saw, who else is here? Oh, right back there, Larry Hammett. Blair Hoffman. Oh, sorry. Larry's not here. Blair Hoffman, yeah, I got the wrong guy. All right. So, Pat Regal. Yeah, Pat's here. Shelley Horn is here. Thank you. There's one more, and later tonight we will honor a long-standing member of our board for her years of service to the community. But at this time, I would ask you to join me in thanking Carol Souls for her years of service to the Sports Hall of Fame. And lastly, I want to thank all of you for coming tonight. Amazing crowd. We're packed. We're sold right out. We love this. Thank you for coming tonight to help us celebrate and honor the sporting accomplishments of our newest inductees. Thank you, and let's all have a great night.
Thanks, Barry. Yes, I think we all noticed that Jody Belay wasn't here. He has the key to the air conditioning system. Before we introduce the 34th induction class for the Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame, we will begin by naming and unveiling the Sports Organization of the Year. The Board of Directors deliberates annually and makes its selection for each year's induction banquet. And this year, I'm pleased to announce that the Sports Organization of the Year has been selected as the World Cup of Softball Host Committee. Anybody over the last 2 years that attended those events will know that this organization is very, very deserving of this award. Please, let's hear it for the World Cup of Softball Host Committee. Just a few words about that. When the teams from around the world took to the field in Prince Albert this past July for the Men's World Cup of Softball, this was the result of 11 years of work from the organizing committee. No small feat. The host committee worked tirelessly for over that decade to ensure that when the world came to Prince Albert, the world would remember Prince Albert. The tournament drew thousands of fans, athletes, officials from all over the globe, showcasing the very best in international softball and the very best spirit in Prince Albert. Throughout the 6-day tournament last July, the atmosphere was charged with excitement and camaraderie, culminating in widespread praise from spectators, officials, and players alike. The success of the event was built on the tireless efforts of more than 300 volunteers, whose commitment ensured a seamless experience for all involved. Their contributions, large and small, were instrumental in creating a most memorable World Cup that WBSC officials and participants have described for Prince Albert, in Prince Albert, as the best that they had ever attended. That's what this committee has done. The host committee attributes this achievement to the community's spirit and support, emphasizing that the recognition of Sports Organization of the Year belongs not only to the organizers, but to everyone who played a part in making the tournament an historic celebration of softball in our Prince Albert community. So congratulations to the World Cup of Softball Host Committee for being named Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame Sport Organization of the Year. And so at this time, I'd like to call upon Sports Hall of Fame President Barry Mihalowicz and Stacy Petrelman from PA Northern Bus Lines to please come forward. Here you are. Oh, is Ren going to do this? Oh, it's Barry? Stacy? Not here. Okay, so it'll be Barry Mihalowicz and Ren Quintel representing PA Northern Bus Lines. They'll come forward and they'll present the Sports Organization of the Year plaque to the chair of the World Cup of Softball Host Committee, Ian Litzenberger, ladies and gentlemen, chair of the committee. And I would also like to invite all of the other members who are here tonight from the organizing committee to come up to the stage here as well. Oh, there's more coming, Connie. There's lots more coming. Ian, congratulations. Let's get everyone up there. This is an amazing group of citizens here. Congratulations to Ian and his World Cup of Softball Prince Albert Host Committee. Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame Sports Organization of the Year. Yeah. Yeah. DJ. Yeah, Christian Hunon, if you can just lay across the front there, that would be fine. Yeah. 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 Sports Organization of the Year. World Cup of Softball Prince Albert Host Committee. Congratulations. Well done, Ian. Well, that's an exciting group, and they're already sharing old time memories. Barry Mihailovich did signal earlier that it was on my agenda to recognize sponsors, and we did that because most of you probably weren't listening to Barry when he was talking. We do want to recognize that tonight would not be possible without the support of these incredible sponsors, and I'd like to take a moment again to recognize them, and please stand up when you hear it. Not our tallest, but our longest running sponsor from Crown Cleaners and Vacuum, Brent McDonald. You've been wonderful, Brent. Michael Lipchuk from Remax could not be here with us tonight, but he'll be represented by Brent later, I think. And Broda Group, Gord Broda and Rusty Clooney, you guys are always so awesome and everything. Prince Albert Northern Bus Lines, Stacy Petron, we thank him. Lake Country Co-op, Tim Keller, you're here. Stand up, Tim. Smitty's Restaurant, Bugsy's Bar and Grill, Mark Walters, we thank you. Bolak Funeral Home and Crematorium, Marianne Turcott. We'll see Marianne later. Marianne, where are you? There you are. Thank you so much. Parkland Ambulance, Trevor and Corley Duchak are here, as is Dave. I saw Dave too. Stand up, Parkland. You're just a wonderful part of this community. And of course, we'll be seeing their videos later. The Big Drum Media, Barry Mihailovich. So thank you very much. You could probably keep it down there, Barry, too. We're trying to run a program here, okay? I'd also like to mention Connie Joynson of Connie J Photography is here. She's at every event, does beautiful work. PA Fast Print for their professional services supporting tonight's event. We mentioned already the wonderful Prince Albert Raiders organization for running the bar. And I'd like to offer my own special thanks to Leanne Vance, who does so much work in developing the program for me as MC. So thank you, Leanne. You make this job very easy. I do want to mention that if you are interested in becoming a sponsor, please reach out to Sports Hall of Fame directors Jim Flynn and Barry Schrader. I guess you're the legal crew, guys, is that it? But reach out to them if you'd like to become involved as a sponsor. Now, I'm told by Leanne in the program that we're going to, because in the rest of the program, the bar, I think, is not going to be open during the program. So before we get to introducing our inductees through the videos, we'll take about a 10-minute break, and I mean 10-minute. We're going to enforce this. I said 4 minutes before. It felt like the last 4 minutes of the Grey Cup to me, you know, just never seemed to want to end. So this will give you a break to allow you to get up, touch your toes, watch Rusty Clooney dance, whatever you feel you need to do. You may want to charge your glasses at the bar, perhaps purchase a souvenir bottle of wine with this year's induction event label on it, exchange some social pleasantries. So if you're heading to the bar, the Prince Albert Raiders Hockey Club will be there to assist you. If you're heading to the washroom, I just wish to be clear, there'll be no one from the Prince Albert Raiders there to assist you. And I'm advised by the City of Prince Albert that if you want to go down and lay with your face on the ice surface for 10 minutes, that's permissible as well. So whatever, you have 10 minutes, at which time we'll look forward to introducing you formally to the class of 2026 inductees to the Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame. See you in 10. We're ready to start that special part of the evening that we've all gathered for, the presentation of our inductees. I'd ask for your attention, please, particularly from the sponsors who will be coming up to help us with the presentations. A few procedural notes for how this will work. For our sponsor representatives who will be coming up to award medals, here's what we would ask of you. In advance of the video presentation introducing each inductee, I will invite each presenting sponsor by name in turn to come up just before we announce the inductee to whom the sponsor will be presenting the induction medal. So when I call your name, sponsor, please start to come up while the video is playing and find your way up to the stage here for the presentation when the video is done. At the conclusion of the video, we will then ask the featured inductee to come up from your seat at the head table to the stage for the unveiling of the citation that will hang in the Hall of Fame in your honor, to receive your pin from President Barry Mihailovich, and to accept your induction medal from the sponsor. Our photographer, Connie Johnson of Connie J Photography, will then herself shutter the official pictures. So official photos of the presentations will be available for you. They'll be professionally done. You'll be able to download them off the website after the event. So for all of the less professional photographers, Neil Hedrick, that includes you too, I'm afraid, who are amongst the family and friends of the inductees, we'd ask that during the presentations, please stay in your seats. You'll have an opportunity at the end of the evening to take your personal photo remembrances. At the end of the evening, all of the citations will remain on display, and that will be your time for taking photos with families and friends and the team. Any questions? I'll show of hands. There are no questions? Very good. So to start off and lead the way for the other sponsors to follow those directions, we're actually going to call on one of our smartest sponsors. Brent, you can just sit down. I'm going to ask Tim Keller from Lake Country Co-op to come up during the video presentation to be ready on stage to present our first inductee of the evening. So ladies and gentlemen, now I'm going to direct your attention to the video screens as we introduce our first 2026 inductee into the Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame in the athletes category. Ladies and gentlemen, Leah Gittinger-Tyree.
The Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame is proud to recognize Leah Tyree in the athlete category. Leah Tyree is a multi-sport athlete who excelled in soccer, volleyball, track, and basketball.
She was like your ultimate athlete, but then the goofiest person ever. We were so ridiculous together, and it was just always so much fun.
Leah was much like she was in life. She always had boundless energy. She loved being a part of the team, being on the team, being the levity on the team.
As a teammate, I think she really just made every sport fun. Playing on a team with Leah was just, it was always a blast. She had this amazing ability to just kind of make everybody feel at ease, and not take things too seriously, but then at the same time, she brought this competitiveness and this intensity that somehow made everybody else successful while still having lots of fun.
Leah excelled at soccer, volleyball, and basketball. At Carleton High School, Leah co-captained both the volleyball and basketball teams, with the volleyball team winning provincial silver and gold.
Being out on an acreage, you just find things to do outside. And I would say it started just backyard, you know, pepper with my brothers, and yeah. My reps were definitely done on the acreage.
It's like she was constantly surprised at how, what she could do on the field and how good she actually was. She was always one of the best players out there, but she never took it for granted.
She was super competitive, but never in too serious of a manner. She wanted to win all the time. She got us to the wins all the time. I knew that if we were ever in a bind, I could set her the ball and she would do something with it every time.
Leah's abilities earned her a spot at tryouts for the junior national volleyball team. She was successful at making the team and became a co-captain. She had multiple offers to play university volleyball, settling on the University of Maine. During her first 2 years with Maine, she played in 231 of 232 games, leading the team both years in kills.
Yeah, the first 2 years were amazing. You know, I was a starting rookie, and yeah, I think scored the most kills on the team, and It was definitely a high.
I don't remember a whole lot about the matches we played, even in college. I remember some of them. I remember how, skilled of a hitter she was, and her cross-court shot, how skilled of a blocker she was, how she was willing to do anything. She did a lot of different things in college. Whatever she was asked to do, she did. But what I really, truly remember about her was how good of a teammate she was and how good of a leader she was.
She was named to the American East All-Rookie Team and American East All-Conference Honorable Mention. Her team advanced to the championship game of the American East Conference in both her junior and senior years. In her senior year, Leah was co-captain of the team and once again earned an American East All-Conference Honorable Mention.
A lot of good coaches. My first coach that really impacted me from a volleyball standpoint was Wendell Hogan. He was the first coach that treated me not like a child, but like an athlete. And then I did make the youth national team in, I guess it was 11th grade. And that was the first coach that really treated athletics more like a job, and I liked feeling like I was working towards something. And then Coach Medley, who recruited me to the University of Maine, she was the same way, just a very white and black, intense, and I just like that. I like someone that kind of cracks the whip and pulls the best out of me.
So many practices when our coach, who was hard, she was a hard person to play for, and it seemed that Leah was the only one who could kind of get through to her in those moments. All the rest of us were really, afraid or scared or whatever, and Leah would break the silence by playing the air guitar or by telling a poor joke or whatever, and we would all hold our breath thinking that, what's coach going to say or what's coach going to do, and she would laugh and shake her head and say, oh, kids.
Since graduating from university, Leah has remained actively involved in sports.
You knew she always wanted everybody else to succeed just as much as herself. Even though she was always like the most skilled athlete out there, she was never intimidating to play with. I think that she was super welcoming to everybody else on all the different levels that she played with, which I think that made lots of the teams that she was on super successful, and she was just so easy to play with.
She excelled at all of the sports that she did. And I think one of the best things about Leah is that she was that top level elite athlete, but she was always so humble about it. Never conceited, she never carried this huge ego. She was such a good friend to all of her teammates and just to everybody. She's so kind and such a huge heart.
My parents showed up no matter what, and so I want to do that for my own kids and give them what my parents gave me. Yeah, so it's definitely going to be a part of my life forever. I still play women's volleyball and we have a great time. So it's just cool that sports is something you can kind of keep doing at some capacity forever, whether it be coaching, watching, or playing. So yeah, I can't see sports ever not being something that I love for sure.
The Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame is proud to welcome Leah Tyree in the athlete category.
Ladies and gentlemen, for induction into the Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame in the athletes category, Leah Ginninger Tyree. Leah Ginninger Tyree, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations, Leah. I'd now like to ask sponsor Coralie Duchak, representing today Smitty's restaurant, Bugsy's Bar and Grill, to make her way to the stage for our next presentation. And our next inductee into the 2026 class of the Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame in the athlete category. You've met her already. Ladies and gentlemen, Caitlin Lehner.
The The Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame is proud to recognize Caitlin Lehner in the athlete category. Caitlin Lehner started competing in track and field when she was 12, and her rise to the podium didn't take long.
She was always not only just really talented, but she was also like an amazing person and a leader for the group, and she just always was successful, not on the track and off the track, just a well-rounded person.
One of the best parts about Caitlin as an athlete is that she was like no nonsense. She would just show up, put her head down and work, and she would work very hard. And so she took practice very seriously, she listened, she learned.
Katie was more than a great athlete. She was also a great teammate. She fit in quickly. She was a good influence not only on her teammates, but also went out of her way to help the younger kids around the track. She was very approachable.
During her 4 years of high school, she took home gold in each event she was entered in, both in the Prince Albert High School City Championships and the North Central District Championships.
Caitlin was one of those rare kids that was really well-rounded, and which eventually led to us looking at her for heptathlon. Every year that she went to, like even the provincial level, she was always a multi-medalist and always dominated in her events. And that's very rare.
I think a lot of the success that I found as an athlete came from just being a really hard worker. My parents always taught me and my brother that we can do anything if we set our minds to it and if we work really hard. And I loved being able to beat my previous personal best. Anything to just level up, I loved the feeling of that. And I think that that's something that keeps athletes coming back. I love the excited butterflies that I get before stepping into the blocks at a national final and being able to perform under pressure.
Caitlin also competed on the national and international stage, including the Canada Summer Games and the 2012 Olympic Trials. At the Pan American Junior Championships in Colombia, Caitlin finished 6th in the heptathlon.
Receiving my Team Canada kit to our house in PA, I was so excited to get the box. I very clearly remember the day it showed up and running to the door to get it. Putting on the Team Canada singlet and jacket and everything was such a special moment, and seeing myself in the mirror with Canada on my chest, that had always been my #1 goal as an athlete.
She wasn't full of excuses. If something didn't work for her, we just went back and tried it again. If she was late, she was honest about it. And I feel like when you take ownership over why a rep wasn't good, or why you're tired, or why X, Y, and Z, it's a really important quality to have, to be like taking responsibility along the way, to not be full of excuses.
As an athlete, Katie worked hard. I respected that she was willing to trust the process of making change to improve. I think at the start, she had some questions about what the heck we were doing, but she stuck with it all. And as a result, became a great all-around track and field athlete. I often had to shut down our sessions, but she just wanted to keep going until she got it right. The more she improved, the harder she wanted to work.
From high school, she would move on to a bigger stage as a member of the University of Calgary Dinos and University of Saskatchewan Huskies track and field teams. At the CIS National Championships, she earned bronze and silver medals in the 60-meter hurdles and long jump, competing against the top university athletes in the country.
She had a very close family relationship, and just those family values. She was just always really respectful and polite, and she worked hard, and she never really questioned much. And the best thing about her was that, you know, if there was kids having a bad day or kids that didn't really feel comfortable, like, you know, with some of the workouts, she was always there to encourage and be positive and friendly and inviting.
I asked her why she came to U of S. Calgary was the place to be for multi-events athletes in Canada at the time. She told me it was because she wanted to be with her brother Carson, who was a rookie on the team that year. That made a big impression on me. I can say I was impressed with Katie. I still remember her look of happiness and accomplishment after her last U Sport Nationals. I was so happy for her that all her hard work had paid off.
Being able to experience my whole track and field career with Carson was something really special that we were able to do, because we've been there for each other through our whole careers and know all the time that we put in, and the things that we had to give up along the way. So I think just being able to celebrate each other's wins, to be there for each other's lows that happen along the way too. Carson was always my favorite teammate.
I think the biggest reason for me why Caitlin is a phenomenal athlete is because she's a phenomenal person. I think all of us that got to train alongside of her benefited from her energy, her honesty, her integrity, her hard work, her laughter. I think anyone can be a good athlete, but to be a really great person and to enhance so many other people's journeys along your own journey, I think is a really special gift.
The Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame is proud to welcome Caitlin Langer, athlete.
Ladies and gentlemen, presented for induction into the Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame in the athletes category, Caitlin Langer. Caitlin Langer. Congratulations, Caitlin. For our next inductee, we will call upon our sponsor, Barry Mihalowicz from Big Drum Media, to make the presentation. And our next 2026 Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame inductee will be presented again in the athlete category. Ladies and gentlemen, Joel Mihalowicz.
The Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame is proud to recognize Joel Mihalowicz in the athlete category. From a very young age, Joel Mihalowicz distinguished himself as an exceptional athlete in the sport of racquetball.
I remember this zest and excitement for the game, and I remember coming in, he would be just excited, and I used to remember having to drag him off the court. Practice is over, come back again next week, and he never wanted to get off that court.
That was back when racquetball was huge and the junior program was flying through Prince Albert with a vengeance. I was probably, I don't even know, in the midst of my competitive career, and here comes Joel, this hot shot little player who was kicking everybody's butt and just had no fear, diving all over the court, running, hitting hard shots. So he came in with a power force at a young age.
There was a pretty good community of people who played in this league, and Joel got a lot of good experience playing a lot of high-level players. And then in the province, we had some of the best players in not only the country, but in the world, provincially. In Saskatchewan, we had some real high-level competition. So from early on, he was getting a lot of that.
With his commitment and competitive spirit, Joel was provincial champion in his age group from 1991 to 1996, runner-up in 1997, and champion again from 1998 to 2000.
He was intense, he was a go-getter, he was out there to win it. Didn't matter the size of the person he was playing, because I remember him, he tended to be the little guy on there, but it didn't matter how much taller everybody was than he was going out there to win.
Never back down. Yeah, no one told him that he was supposed to be intimidated, so he wasn't. We'd create a game plan, and he was focused and would pay attention and follow through.
I totally had the good fortune of having amazing coaches who all had different ways of teaching the game, and that's what I think I benefited from.
In the junior tournaments, he was just dominant. He didn't seem to have actually anybody who it wasn't until maybe his last few years of playing where there was anybody who even came close to competing. And even then, I remember the only time I ever saw him lose at one of those tournaments was he got hurt in the middle of a game.
On the national stage, Joel competed at junior nationals from 1992 to 2000, winning his age group from 92 to 1995. In 1996, Joel suffered a knee injury at nationals and ended up finishing 4th. Coming back from injury, Joel placed 5th in 1997. In 2000, Joel placed 5th in singles and earned a silver medal in boys 18 and under doubles.
I'd go to the courts before school if I could. Get picked up, go to school. I'd get dropped off probably around 4 or 5. And then I'd be there till 10 p.m. till they closed. I just wanted to play more. I just wanted to hit the ball another time. Let me on the court, and I'll spend hours.
His poise and his, for someone that even that young, he was very calm, collected, never seemed to get frustrated or angry, unlike his older brother.
Even that young age, he was able to filter out anything that was going on around him and just focus. And even when he was down, it didn't really seem to affect him. He had a really strong mental game. It just seemed to overcome any obstacle.
Internationally, Joel represented Canada at the World Junior Championships from 1992 to 1995, and again in 1999. Among his remarkable achievements, Joel captured a bronze medal in boys 10 and under doubles at the 1993 World Junior Championships, and in 1999 he made it to the quarterfinals to secure a top 8 finish in boys 18 and under singles.
The Worlds was an exciting time always, and with people from all over North America primarily that were there for the Junior Worlds Championship.
Going to Worlds that year, and because it was kind of my last year, and that was the year that I was being coached by Lori. I felt like I was playing the best racquetball that I've ever played. I ended up getting top 8 that year.
Joel credits all his success to the mentors and coaches he had in the sport of racquetball. He continued to give back to the sport after he finished his competitive career. He coached junior racquetball and helped multiple athletes achieve great success on the provincial, national, and world stage. He also served 2 terms on the Saskatchewan Racquetball Association board.
I loved racquetball. It was something that I would wake up thinking about. I'd go to bed thinking about.
He always wanted to play and practice, and I think he actually genuinely had fun. Like, he was enjoying it.
He has been that guy that's given back. He sat on the board for Saskatchewan Racquetball Association. When I called him a couple of years ago, hey, I need you to help me volunteer for this program we're taking racquetball into the schools. Kate, when do you need me? He was there.
I think each one of those coaches, each one of those sections of my career, I learned a lot of different lessons for life. And I think sport does that in general. When you have such amazing people showing you what to do and how to do it, it's really easy to turn around and give that back as well.
I coached him, and then now that I'm still playing, and he's playing for the love of the game, he's come out and helped me get ready for tournaments. And that strategic player that may not be one of my strengths, he has been able to help me and make me a better player at my stage of racquetball. So it's come full circle for us.
The Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame is proud to welcome Joel Mihalowicz in the athlete category.
Ladies and gentlemen, presented for induction into the Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame in the athletes category, Joel Mihalowicz. Joel Mihalowicz. Congratulations, Joel. For our next induction, could I ask sponsor Gord Broda from Broda Group to come forward to the stage? Don't look so startled, Gordon. It's not a speaking gig. It's okay. Ladies and gentlemen, our next 2006 inductee into the Saskatchewan Sports Hall of Fame in the Builder category is Randy Emerson.
The Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame is proud to recognize Randy Emerson in the Builder category. Randy Emerson has been a quiet force behind multiple sports in the Prince Albert area for many years. Following his U of S Huskies football playing career, he took on the reins of coach, mentor, organizer, committee member, volunteer, and builder.
He shows kids that details matter, right? So that's one of the things that always stands out with him. He's kind of showed us how those small little lessons weren't small. They were big.
He's a very inspiring person. He wants you to do your best all the time. He holds you accountable. He just wants you to be better.
He's so composed and calm. I don't know if I can count one time that he's flipped his lid or, just always that calm presence for everyone around him.
His coaching career included multiple sports across various schools within Sask River's school division.
I initially got involved at the school level. My kids were extremely young. In fact, I think when I got started, I didn't have Kylie, Dallas, or Mackenzie. And so I would coach football with the high school team, and then I'd coach basketball. And then come springtime, there was developmental basketball through Basketball Saskatchewan, and there was a need to kind of keep developing the program within the community, and so I invested my time there.
He embeds in those young people that he's coached and that he's taught some character. He coaches and teaches with strong personal values, and that gets embedded in those people that he influences.
Definitely calms you down when you don't see a coach panicking and losing his mind over little things, that he can calm himself down and show how we should react in those situations.
He is one of the smartest people I know and understands the games on a level very few people can meet him at. And yet he cares so much, I would argue, more about the type of people that he helps build. If I can kind of engrave anything about my dad, is that he is the epitome of a good person.
Randy was a coach for the Carleton junior and senior football teams, as well as the senior boys basketball team, helping them earn multiple appearances at Hoopla. Within the community, Randy was a coach from 1997 until 2015 with the Prince Albert Youth Soccer Association. He was an assistant volleyball coach with the U14 and U16 Prince Albert Toppers teams from 2013 until 2016 and helped lead the team to multiple provincial championships.
Transformational coaching versus transactional coaching. Randy's obviously one of those transformational coaches. Whether it's sport or life, coaches always hope that they're making some sort of impact, changing kids' behaviors, changing an athlete's perspective.
Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard, and growing up, I think he took that into parenthood, into his coaching style. It didn't matter if it was U8 soccer or the team that he just coached in the Hoopla final this past season. Work hard, be a good teammate, and have fun.
Along with benefiting from his coaching skills, Prince Albert has Randy to thank for being a part of the fundraising and/or planning committees for the development of the Alfred Jenkins Fieldhouse, the city's beach volleyball courts, and the Max Clooney Field Friday Night Lights project.
The need for facility for soccer, but not just for soccer, recreation for our community. I was approached to be involved in what turned out to be the Alfred Jenkins Fieldhouse and the beach volleyball courts.
Really got to know him well in the campaign that led up to the creation of the Alfred Jenkins Fieldhouse. And Randy was on the committee, and he was, instantly I identified him as just one of these go-to guys that has so many skills, as educators often do. He was just an amazing contribution to the creation of that Alfred Jenkins Fieldhouse.
Since then, I think the Friday Night Lights program, fundraising campaign, I mean, that was something that just needed to happen. I mean, there was a passion involved there that was displayed that, you know, resulted in first-class facilities within our community.
Never being one to seek the spotlight, Randy has worked behind the scenes, doing whatever was needed to develop good athletes, strong people, and excellent facilities that will benefit Prince Albert for years to come.
He had his hand in so many different, from youth soccer to the toppers and youth basketball, and now he's involved in the Special Olympics and the fundraising and the planning committee of the lights on Max Clooney Field and the Alfred Jenkins Field House and the beach volleyball courts. Like, he's just been so involved in building the community, literally, and yet along his way, he's also built character in the people that he's touched and been a part of their lives.
Well, I think just his commitment to people and community, and to this community in particular, he just demonstrates just the value that bringing people together can achieve for a community.
And I think the lessons that might be learned from sport can be highlighted, they can be cherished, they can be held tighter if you take the moments to actually celebrate the people that have done the work, that have put in the time.
I think he's someone that everyone becomes a little bit better in the presence of my dad.
Through a casual interaction, someone had said press on, they started to recite it, I had joined them and we did it in tandem. So 2 generations, 26 years apart, were able to still share the same mantra. So, you know, Emo, congratulations, press up.
Nothing in the world could take the place of persistence.
Talent will not. Nothing is more common than unsuccessful men with talent.
Genius will not. Unrewarded genius is almost a proverb.
Education will not. The world is full of educated derelicts.
Persistence and determination alone are omnipotent.
The slogan, press on,
has solved
and always will solve the problems of the human race.
The Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame is proud to welcome Randy Emerson in the Builder category.
Ladies and gentlemen, presented for induction into the Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame in the Builders category, Randy Emerson. Randy Emerson. Congratulations, Randy. He's a big hugger, but a slow hugger. And I call on now sponsor Trevor Duchak from Parkland Ambulance to please come up for our next presentation. And our next 2026 inductee into the Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame in the Builder category is Tim Leonard.
The Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame is proud to recognize Tim Leonard in the Builder category. Tim Leonard's contributions to hockey in Prince Albert and beyond are both significant and enduring. His coaching career, marked by unwavering dedication and remarkable achievements, has left a lasting legacy on the sport.
He believed, obviously, in hard work and discipline, and his teams, they bought into his way of playing hockey, and they're successful. And, you know, the kids want to come to Prince Albert to play hockey.
He made going to the rink so much fun. Even though his practices weren't the easiest, there's a purpose behind every drill. He's so knowledgeable. There's a huge advantage to have him behind your bench.
I thought Tim was a hard but fair coach. He influenced me, I think, by teaching me the expectations and what I needed to do to be successful.
Tim began coaching hockey in 1999 as the head coach of the U15 Venice House Pirates in Prince Albert, a role he held until 2002. These formative years laid the groundwork for his future successes. Tim Tim joined the U18 AAA Mintos in 2002 as assistant coach before stepping into the role of head coach from 2005 to 2012, and again from 2021 to 2024.
A couple guys asked me to help out with the Banthams, the AA programs in PA here, and that's where it started. It was a good transition. I think you need to be an assistant to learn how to do things properly, and when I got the chance, it was, I guess, people had confidence that I could do it, and after a year, things settled down, and I felt pretty comfortable doing it.
Tim coached in a way that he prepared you to move on as a player, and we always said that about the Saskatchewan Midget League, is that it really prepared players to move up to the next level, and I think Tim took that to another level with the Minto players.
Yeah, Tim would inspire the guys by, little sayings, little quotes, things like that, little videos. He just drove the team forward with his expectations, and knowing that it was going to take work, and work came first, and that's how you find results.
Under his leadership, the Mintos consistently excelled, never missing the playoffs. They were provincial champions in 2005-06, 2006-07, and 2010-11. The pinnacle of these achievements was winning back-to-back TELUS Cup national championships in 2006 and 2007.
He had lots of accomplishments, but Tim was never somebody that would walk around with his nose up in the air, whatever. It's just part of being Tim. I didn't understand in his styles or ways was hockey's usually 3 periods. But the first TELUS Cup, it took him 6 to win it. The second one took him 5 to win it. And I said, are you getting paid for overtime here, or why are we doing this?
Yeah, it was stressful. It was, I don't know if I could have taken any more. It got to the end there. I know I went out before the last period, and I looked up in the sky because I'd lost my father a few months before that, and I just said, Dad, just get it over with. I don't care who wins. It's just I've had enough, but hopefully you make us the winner, and the rest, like I said, I think he helped look after that.
Throughout his career, Tim's teams demonstrated skill, resilience, and an unrelenting pursuit of excellence. Beyond the accolades and championships, his greatest contribution remains the mentorship and guidance he provided to countless young athletes, helping shape them not only as hockey players, but as individuals.
He had that way about him. He was a hard coach, but he also was an honest coach, and I think his players appreciated that.
I wanted them to be the best they could be, and I pushed them to be the best they could be. Nights they weren't, they heard about it, but when they had good shifts and had good games, I was the first guy at the gate or in the dressing room high-fiving them and congratulating them. The coach gets some credit, but you got to have the right kids, and we did.
You can be a good coach, you can be a nice coach, you can be a fun coach, but at the end of the day, what you're looking for is success, and not only team success, but player success. You look at the players that have come through the organization and played underneath of him, and they found success, whether it be at the junior level, the collegiate level, or in certain cases, professional.
Surround yourself with good people, and I think that was the key, and I did that. We all had the same goal. Let's make the Mintos a proud program, and like I said, we accomplished that, but it was with the help of a lot of good people.
The Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame is proud to welcome Tim Leonard in the Builder category.
Ladies and gentlemen, presented for induction into the Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame in the Builders category, Tim Leonard. Ladies and gentlemen, Tim Leonard. Congratulations, Tim. Can I ask sponsor Brent McDonald from Crown Cleaners and Vacuums, would you please come up to the stage for the next presentation? Brent? Thank you. Our next inductee into the Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame in 2026 in the category of meritorious service to the community of sport, Rusty Clooney.
The Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame is proud to recognize Rusty Clooney for meritorious service. The name Rusty Clooney is well known in the Prince Albert community for his generosity in many charitable events, for developing and supporting numerous sports, including football and bull riding.
There's nobody that's a bigger community supporter than Rusty. Anybody that knows Rusty knows he's got a lot of passion, and he's been a big part of so many different sports events, projects, in the community. It's the list is long.
Utmost generosity, always there to help. Take the shirt off his back. I know that's a cliche, but legit, that's what the guy's all about. He's in with everything. Anybody that has something going on, he's always there to lend a helping hand in one way or another.
He is a dad first. He is a family man first. Everything that he has kind of made decisions for, or the initiatives that he's driven, there's always been about other people's families, the community.
As the founder, builder, and coach of the PA River Riders football program, Rusty has been central to developing youth sport and fostering new opportunities for participation.
And there was myself, Ian Jensen, and Dave Thorpe and Rod Elliott back in the day. There was an interest by the kids, and so we pooled some cash together, got a set of equipment, had the vigor of young Ryan Hughes in the day and Wendell Witter, and next thing you know, we kicked off what now is the River Rider football program.
It was a lot to do with the kids. Like Rod Elliott had a kid playing, Rusty had Max playing, like all these kids that were interested in football. But then you get to know that there used to be football back in the day that these guys played. That's what kind of got the ball rolling. Is we played when we were kids, why can't more kids play?
His leadership was also pivotal in bringing and promoting professional bull riding and rodeo events to Prince Albert and its surrounding area, broadening the city's reputation as a hub for athletic excellence and entertainment.
When they made a decision to bring the first PBR into Prince Albert, there was a lot of people scratching their heads saying, how are we going to do this? And Rusty being the get her done kind of guy's like, oh, it's not even a big deal. It's guys like Rusty that bring those kind of things to PA and make them happen.
As life would have it, forming and having a pretty darn good relationship with the Byrne family. Along the line, Ryan said, Rusty, do you think we could ever bring this Western lifestyle to PA? What do you think? And I said, hey, let's do it. And so people said, well, there's no way you can do that at Art Hauser and put dirt in there and play hockey and whatever else. And again, I said, yeah, we can.
From the age of, I don't even know, 12, 13 up, I got to ride through the junior ranks, and that was one thing that Rusty and them wanted to make sure that we had was the junior ranks to give the youth in the sport a look at the big show and the lights and the pyro and the music and get them used to it. And I was fortunate enough to have success at that and really hone my skills at the Art Hauser Center. And
Rusty's commitment extends to investing in and supporting the Max Powerball Parks and Max Clooney Field. He played an instrumental role in the Friday Night Lights campaign, which resulted in the installation of lighting at Max Clooney Field. In 2024, with help from the City of Prince Albert and the Sask River School Division, Rusty was a key force behind the installation of a new track and artificial turf.
The Friday Night Lights project, as we named it, was certainly inspired by Max. It was actually Max's vision. He would bug Rusty and say, Dad, how come we don't have lights in Prince Albert? We go to Saskatoon and we have lights.
Unfortunately, we had a family accident where we lost Max. In 2011, a bad plane crash. And over the years, Max was playing football and was a river rider and traveling back and forth. And we only got to play football under the lights in Saskatoon. So he'd be driving in the car going, Dad, why can't we ever play football under the lights? And I said, well, maybe someday we will, son. And so after we'd lost Mac, we were on the back deck with Mr. Mugford. And he'd said, well, they're out of flowers in town. You guys got to come up with a cause or something. And so my wife was the one who said, well, let's do Friday Night Lights, honey. Your son always wanted to light the field at Prime Minister's Park.
Through these programs and initiatives, Rusty Clooney continues to help build, promote, and showcase Prince Albert. His legacy shows in the enhanced facilities and opportunities available to athletes of all ages, ensuring that his influence will be felt in the community for years to come.
He's like an artist that has a big picture in his mind, and I think that he just knows the avenues to make that work. He's a humble man who has gone through things that parents should not go through, and he's dealt with them in such a way that it's made him stronger, and it's made the community stronger.
He's always supporting, he's always donating to every cause possible. I've never seen somebody give like Rusty gives.
There's been project after project after project. He's done a tremendous amount to make this community a better place to be. And he's not done. There's more to come.
The Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame is proud to welcome Rusty Clooney for meritorious service.
Ladies and gentlemen, presented for induction into the Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame for his meritorious service to sports in our community, Rusty Clooney. Rusty Clooney. Congratulations, Rusty. Well done. Our next inductee is also in the meritorious service category, and I would like to call on our sponsor, Marianne Turcott from Bolac Funeral Home and Crematorium. Marianne, if you can make your way to the stage while I direct the rest of you to the screen for an introduction to the interminable contributions of our next inductee, Carol Souls.
The Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame is proud to recognize Carol Souls for meritorious service. For more than 40 years, Carol Souls has been dedicated to volunteering, fundraising, coaching, and taking the lead on various committees to help benefit a number of sporting activities and events in Prince Albert and area.
Carol is just an amazing person. She's dedicated and, hardworking, but she's also the person, if you're on a board with her, that holds everybody else to the highest standards.
She loves people and she likes to help out. She's just a giver and heartwarming, and she really cares about people.
Carol, as we all know, she's a pretty straight shooter, and she'll give you her opinion even if you aren't asking for it, and that's something that I always appreciated about Carol.
Carol served as a director on the Prince Albert Sports Council from 1985 until the organization ceased operation in 2025.
Very, very few people in Prince Albert who have given more volunteer hours at an extremely high level of competence than Carol Souls. She's been involved in a multitude of clubs and organizations, as well as a multitude of special events over the 40-some years that I've known Carol.
I was involved right at the beginning with the Sports Council, and then they needed to figure out how they were going to operate and what platform they were going to work on. And so they had been established for a couple of years before I became involved. And of course, my sister is one of the founders of that. Over the years, the Sports Council built many facilities in Prince Albert or added to them, and they sponsored so many individual athletes to go on to bigger and better competitions.
Being able to rely on somebody is so important. When you talk to Carol, when you ask her or she says she's going to do something, she does it. And not only will she do it, it's on time, it's done properly.
The Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame Board benefited from Carol's skills from 1990 until 2025.
She's just put in a ton of effort to so many things with the Sports Hall of Fame. Carol has been our treasurer for as long as I've been on the board and as long as pretty much any of us can remember. But then she's also got amazing ideas. When you're working with her, it's always fun and it's creative.
She really gives it her all. She's just a genuine person that really cares, and what she does, she wants to do well.
If there was a big event in Prince Albert, there's a pretty good chance you would see Carol volunteering, having lent a hand for the Saskatchewan Winter and Summer Games, the Western Canada Summer Games, Junior Men's World Softball Championships, and the Saskatchewan Senior Fitness Association 55+ Games.
It's just always been kind of an interest. Like the very first games was a winter games. And then the big games were the 1999 Western Canada Summer Games. And that was a big commitment. And that was the thrill of my life to be involved with that. And then I just got involved. I like the jackets, I guess. You got a jacket every time.
She was involved in so many organizations. Prince Albert's ultimate volunteer.
Carol has received many awards, including the YWCA Woman of Distinction Award for Recreation, Sport, and Active Living, the Saskatchewan Centennial Medal, the North Central Regional Recreation Association Volunteer Recognition Award, and the City of Prince Albert Award for Merit.
It's people like Carol. A lot of time the work that they do is behind the scenes. People don't see it, but that's what's necessary to really make things successful, whether they're events, programs, services, or facilities.
She really cares about what she does, and she cares about the committees that she's on and the people that are on it. Like, she's truly, truly, truly genuine.
I just did it for the love of people and the love of giving back, because the community had gave back to me. The people that you meet and the friends that you make over the years negates the work. And I've been so fortunate that I have met so many people that are lifelong friends. That's the payoff.
Carol is probably the poster child for meritorious service to sport in Prince Albert, but probably across the whole province and the whole country. She's like a world champion in being a volunteer and being a really good one.
The Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame is proud to welcome Carol Souls for meritorious service.
Ladies and gentlemen, presented for induction into the Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame for her meritorious service to sports in our community and beyond, Carol Souls. Ladies and gentlemen, Carol Souls. Congratulations, Carol. Brent McDonald, could we ask you to flash that lovely jacket again to the stage? You'll be presenting on behalf of Michael Lipchuk, Remax. Our final 2026 induction is in the team category. Ladies and gentlemen, I turn your attention to the screen so we can introduce you to the 2013-2014 Prince Albert Mintos.
The Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame is proud to recognize the 2013-2014 Prince Albert Mintos U18 AAA hockey team. The 2013-2014 Prince Albert Mintos delivered one of the most remarkable seasons in the history of Canadian minor hockey. Through perseverance, resilience, and exceptional teamwork, this group rose from a strong league contender to become national champions, capturing the 2014 TELUS Cup in dramatic fashion.
We had a great bunch of players, but also, all of them are really good people. You spend a lot of time with them. We enjoyed going to the rink every day. I think the thing we're most proud of is, how they ended the year, played their best hockey when it counted the most. And, that's not always easy.
We had a good group of guys. That was the biggest one. We were, I'd say, mid-pack. We weren't at the bottom, but we weren't at the top.
I think we came in third place that year, and we were right in there.
Allowing only 97 goals during the regular season, the Mintos were the league's top defensive team, anchored by outstanding goaltending and disciplined team play. What truly defined this team was its depth, commitment, and belief in one another.
It's a long season. You go through all these, ups and downs throughout the year, and you just persevere. I think we just kept working at trying to get better every day.
Our whole team, they could just roll all lines, didn't matter who was going out there. They had trust in everybody. And then, obviously you look at our goalies, you had Lane McCashrew and Connor Ingram. We didn't really have a superstar, but we had, a lot of depth within our whole lineup.
This group also faced significant adversity away from the rink. During the season, longtime Mintos trainer Dan Cobra Taylor suffered a stroke while traveling with the team to the Max Hockey Tournament. During the playoffs, Mintos president Zenon Markowski also suffered a stroke during a playoff game. As difficult as it was, these moments brought the team even closer together as they rallied around these two members of the Mintos family.
Went from, really looking forward to doing well at the Max and that being one of our goals. And then for that to happen, it puts everything in perspective.
Those guys were obviously huge with the organization. They'd been around with the team forever. They're tough. They're never good to lose somebody in the organization, but probably all contributing things that, made us want to win even more.
Although their league playoff run ended in the semifinal round against the Battleford Stars, the Mintos still had an opportunity to compete for a national berth through the Western Regional Championship, which was hosted in Prince Albert.
We're probably missing at least 4 guys, if I recall. We had some big injuries that year. So we had 2 weeks to go to the Westerns. And then that took us to the Westerns, and we got probably a couple more of those guys back. And then we went on and we beat Notre Dame in a crazy game right at the end. They were the #1 team in the league.
We kind of had that second chance and gave everybody a chance to bumps and bruises heal up. The guys that were hurt got healthy. But then it's like everybody just, once we won Westerns and went to TELUS Cup, everybody just bought in, and it was, we're here and we're coming to win.
At the TELUS Cup in Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, the Mintos quickly established themselves as a dominant force. They finished the round robin with a 3-0-2 record, allowing only 3 goals against, a record that may never be broken.
That week, we had the 2 best goalies in Canada. Lane McCashrew played 3 of the 5 prelim games. He got MVP of the tournament. And they both shared top goalie of the tournament. We set a record for giving up 3 goals in 5 games. And Connor obviously has gone on to have a nice little NHL career.
You got two really good goaltenders. I guess it's a good problem to have, but I found that to be one of the hardest decisions, is who to put in net.
Facing the Grenadiers de Châteauguay in the final, the Mintos battled through one of the most dramatic games ever played at the TELUS Cup. In the 3rd overtime period, Dakota Boutin scored the historic game-winning goal, giving Prince Albert a 4-3 victory after more than 108 minutes of hockey, the longest championship game in TELUS Cup history.
When the puck went in, it was just elation, and everybody's hugging on the bench, and really kind of the last thing is, at that point, is really thinking about them. Just a blur, as far as just celebration. And
it was almost surreal, with, I guess, the 2 Lance and Dakota there that scored to end the game. Everybody, there's so much excitement, but I think everybody, it was almost did we actually just win? Because the game went on for so long. Still that kind of, I think you're riding high on adrenaline, but it was great.
And the one thing about it, we could have been anywhere in Canada, but it was in Moose Jaw, which was very nice because we had so many local fans there. If there was 1,500 to 1,800, I don't know, I'm just guessing what there was there. Everybody was cheering for us, and they were all from PA.
It just speaks to what kind of hockey, I guess, Prince Albert Mintos can bring to the table.
They're such good teammates and played about as good as we could play. So, and then gets into overtime, bounces a different way. Maybe we don't win, but everything worked out. So
The Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame is proud to welcome the 2013-2014 Prince Albert Mintos in the team category.
At this time, we'd like to call up not only Ken Morrison and Don Faucheux as representatives of the Minto team, but all the players, coaches, and team representatives from that 2013-2014 Prince Albert Minto team. They've gathered here to receive together this honor and to accept their medals. Please, all of you, come up. Ladies and gentlemen, for induction into the Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame into the team category, the 2013-2014 Prince Albert Mintos hockey team. Come on, guys, let's get up there for a photo. Barry Schrader, the medal elf, is producing medals from behind the curtain there at a rapid pace. Well done, Barry. Do you know the photo after you won the championship went way quicker than this, guys, didn't it? Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2013-2014 Prince Albert Mintos hockey team. This might be a good time to remind everybody where the fire exits are. There we are, the professionally photographed 2013-2014 Prince Albert Mintos bemedaled hockey team. And now, while the Mintos flow into their seats around you, ladies and gentlemen, we have a custom with the Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame. We invite a representative from our inductees to provide a response on behalf of all the 2026 inductees honored here this evening. And this evening, we invite the fellow, he's anticipating it already, to speak on behalf of the 2026 class of inductees, a person who has for many decades been a builder of young hearts and big dreams in our community, as we saw tonight. One of the best reflections of class and character I know in Prince Albert, a friend of mine and of everyone who's had the privilege of spending any time with him. Responding for the inductees, Randy Emerson.
Now I know I'm in the enviable position of keeping you from using the washroom or maybe getting another drink or heading home, and so I'll try to keep this short, but I think there's a few important things that need to be said. First off, I'm going to try to keep it together, and if I don't, that's okay. I'll pull it back together as quickly as I can. First off, I'm honored. I am deeply honored to be the one speaking on behalf of the inductees tonight. The table that's in front of you spans many different sports, many different generations, many different walks of life. And I think that, I'm honored to be a part of this group, but I'm even more honored to be the one invited to make these comments. With that in mind, I've talked to the inductees, and there's a few messages that they wanted to be sure that were shared, and I think I've got most of it in here, but if there are some things that I'll add at the end, I'll do that. Can you hear me at the back? Are you okay? Good stuff. Okay. Now I'm going to refer to something that's really historic right now in our life, and that's the Artemis mission. And I refer to it because we've got a very distinguished Canadian, Jeremy Hansen, who made a trip around the moon on a jet or a skybird. And if you talk about skybirds and moons at the same time, it's dangerous, but I'll try to keep it on task. Anyway, Jeremy Hansen talked about afterwards the human experience that was about. And I think that we could talk about the championships, which are important. They're what we work for, but it's more important for us to think about the human experience that we hope to share with athletes, with our community as we go. And Jeremy, proud Canadian, and I think we should all be proud of him, had three of them. The first one is gratitude. And I think that as an inductee, speaking on behalf of the inductees, we are very grateful for so many different things. We're grateful for our families, first and foremost, for the sacrifices that they've been willing to let us make, for the family encouragement, for unwavering support, and for that safe, grounding home base that you can go to when things maybe don't work out as you'd like. We're also grateful for the sports organizations and earlier builders that provided the environment for us to achieve. We're very grateful for the opportunity to work with the athletes because of the parents and the other coaches that we've worked with. We're very grateful for the friendships and the friends that we've made along the way that have supported us. And tonight in particular with the inductees, I know the amount of work that has gone into, or maybe I don't know and I never will know, but the Hall of Fame committee that was introduced earlier, the process goes, you get notified that you're going to be an inductee in December, and that's when the work begins for the committee with the collection of pictures and the write-ups and all of the rest of the things that go into it. And I know that chasing us might be like herding cats at times, but we really appreciate the fact that the Hall of Fame committee is as committed as they are to put the quality of product together tonight that is lasting as a legacy within our community, within the hall that's within this building. And so, Hall of Fame committee, you guys are amazing. And so thank you very much for the work that you do. The second human experience that Jeremy referred to is joy. And I think that being involved in sport, we do it for joy. We do it for the joy of the youth. We do it for the joy of the people that we work with. We do it for the joy of the lessons that can be learned, the growth that can be seen in the process that we're involved in. And so we're not always on the joy train that Jeremy referred to, but we're always trying to get back there. And we know that if there is joy, if there's kind of that commitment, you're going to get the passion, you're going to get that extra effort that you need. And so joy is really important, as it was important in any crew that works with. So joy, I think that as inductees, every story that we saw, you could see the joy. You could have that as a part of the story, as a part of the passion. The third one that Jeremy referred to, and honestly, when I saw this, I certainly didn't see it coming. It was kind of a bazinga, because Jeremy, when he talked about this, he talked about love. And he was talking about love in maybe the room that had the biggest brains with the astrophysicists of NASA And so it was a room full of Sheldons. And so there was Jeremy talking about the Big Bang Theory love, and it was just, wow, how could that happen? But when you think about it, there isn't anything that we do that we shouldn't do for the sake of the love. And whether you've got to be loving it as you're doing it, or you've got to be doing it for the love of those that you're working with, I think that it's one of those things that love needs to be shared. You need to show who you're working with that you love doing what you're doing. The committee has shown it, and I know that each of us as inductees, we've loved the journey that we've been on, and we loved being a part of that process. We loved working with the people that we've worked with. And so Jeremy is a Sheldon himself. Maybe he was right. Maybe it's a Bazinga moment that we can kind of cherish. So with that in mind, we've heard the stories, we've seen the clips, we've seen the pictures, we've heard of the accomplishments of the inductees. And many times we've had that loud cheer that's come from you. And I'd like to just have a chance for us to show you the joy that we've had, and know that even tonight is one of those joyful memories that we'll take because of all of you being here. And so I'm very confident that I speak for all of the inductees when I say, as Jeremy said, none of it, what we heard or saw, would have happened without you. The inductee success is a reflection of your belief, your dedication, your commitment, and your love. So with that, man, I can't stop shaking. I'd like to ask all of the inductees to please stand. It's our turn. Inductees, please join with me in giving a standing ovation to all of those that are in front of us that have helped us press on. Our families, our friends, the Hall, and quite frankly, Prince Albert. This is an incredible community. I moved here at the start of grade 9, and I hate to think where I would have been if I didn't move. I came into a community of friends. I came into a community with programs, with the opportunity to be involved. I was encouraged like no other place that I can imagine having moved to. So Mom and Dad, thank you for moving to Prince Albert. Prince Albert, thank you for welcoming us and giving us these opportunities. So inductees, please join with me in giving a standing ovation to those out there. I think that was about 4.5 minutes, and so un poco, Spanish for, I tried to keep it relatively short and small, but Mitch, I'll pass it back to you. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Randy Emerson speaking from the hearts of all our 2026 Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame inductees. Thank you, Randy, always eloquent. And that is actually bringing us to the end of our program this evening. In opera circles, they say, you know, the evening's over when the fat lady sings. In Prince Albert, I guess we have Randy Emerson. So thanks, Randy. In closing tonight, the Board of Directors of the Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame wish to thank yet again all the corporate sponsors who helped to make this evening a reality. Crown Cleaners, Brent McDonald, Michael Lipchuk, Remax, Broda Group, Gord Broda and Rusty Clooney, Prince Albert Northern Bus Lines, Stacy Petroman, Lake Country Co-op, thank you, Tim Keller, Smitty's Restaurant, Bugsy's Bar and Grill, Mark Walters, Bolak Funeral Home and Crematorium, Marianne Turcott, thank you very much. Parkland Ambulance, that wonderful Duchek family that always shows up for everything. Big Drum Media, Barry Mihalowicz, and it needs to be said that all of these beautiful videos that were done were edited all exclusively by Joel Mihalowicz. So Joel, thank you, well done, beautiful job. Big thanks again to Shenanigans for a great meal, to our official photographer, Connie Johnson of Connie J Photography, to the Prince Albert Raiders organization for attending to all our spiritual needs this evening. Good luck tomorrow, Raiders. Very special thanks as well to Dave Bonnet and to you, Caitlin Lehner, for your musical gifts and sharing those with us this evening. As we conclude our formal program, I'd like to recognize again and thank you, Randy, for doing it as well, the Saskatchewan Sports Hall of Fame Board of Directors and volunteers who make this meaningful event happen in our community every year. Another round of applause for our Board of Directors. And to all of you, Randy, I came here in grade 8, and this is a beautiful community. It's been wonderful to spend an evening together as a community to honor our own, to honor these truly accomplished people and all they represent and mean to our community. We honor their skills and dedication as athletes, as builders, for their support and service to sport and to the heart of a community that is personified here in Prince Albert so vibrantly in the values and accomplishments of sport in this wonderful place that with our families we call home. For my bride, Sheila, and myself, I want to say thanks for dinner. Groceries are expensive, so this was appreciated. You have been really the very best company on another brilliant celebration in Prince Albert. We are so fortunate to be from here, to live here. There's just a special warmth, a feeling of close family, and a very discernible spirit in this community, and this is especially so when we get together to celebrate each other. So please stay to continue to visit. I understand the bar is going to stay open for a little while. Feel free to take your personal and family photos with your own inductees. Their rendered citations will remain on display for you to gather around for your photos. Last thing, before we turn you loose to do all that, we just want to get all our inductees back on the stage right now, if we can, for a group shot for our photographer and for the media. So before you find your families, inductees, can you head to the stage and join your family and friends after that picture? As the inductees begin to head to the stage to do that, on behalf of the Board of Directors of the Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame, please let me say one more time how very appreciative the board is for your support in making this 34th induction banquet of the Prince Albert Sports Hall of Fame such a huge success. Prince Albert, you're the best. Enjoy the rest of a great evening, everyone. Good night, and go Raiders! Go Raiders!